Hey, it's Larry Gonzales with Align Mortgage, and my fireside chat this week is with a very good friend of mine, Duran Bethea, who is active duty Army for a little while longer, Chief Warrant Officer, and is the President and CEO of Bandit Brothers Investment Group. Also owns, how many Anytime Fitness franchises?
7.
7 Anytime Fitness franchises. You're also heavily involved in large real estate, talking multi-units through Tri-City Equity Group.
Yep.
And has a lot, he has his hands in so many different ways of getting passive income. And truly, I've known you for probably about 4 or 5 years now, and just super impressed with what you've done. And without further ado, what I'd like to know, Duran, I already know some of this.
Yeah.
But is how did you get to where you're at today? Because you didn't start with all this.
No.
And you rose from E1 to E7.
Chief Warrant Officer 3.
Chief Warrant Officer, and you're about ready to retire.
Yeah.
And that's when you're going to get busy.
That's right. We're going to turn up a whole notch.
All right. So tell me a little bit about how you became Duran Bethea.
A lot of people know that I was born in Enfield, North Carolina. Forbes magazine just ranked our hometown, our city, the poorest city in the whole state of North Carolina. Coming up from that type of background, you kind of grow up with challenges and things like that. Not a lot of resources, but with that, I was inside a small bubble, which was my comfort zone. I was really comfortable in the comfort zone. And in that comfort zone that I was at, I was actually, like at a troubled kid, getting in trouble, whatever the case may be. And, before graduating, I got in trouble. And believe it or not, I actually, had to go serve a little time and got on probation for 12 months. And I was, at that point, I was on probation. I signed up for the United States Army, which also helped my case out a lot. So I did the delayed entry program. In return, I was able to do 12 months of probation. Right after the 12 months was over, in the end of July, I was gone, shipped off, to Fort Jackson, South Carolina, like within 2 weeks. So, long story short, I went into the military. I never ever rode a plane. My first place they sent me was in South Korea, so I took a 19-hour flight from Chicago. I went from South Carolina, Chicago, went into Korea. When I landed in Korea, I was a great soldier. I was there. I was a private one, E1 private. Just motivated. I found out that I was doing things better than most people, and I think that had to do from my upbringing. Like I can shoot, I can move, I can run, I can, so I can do all those things. 6 months after getting there, I ended up finding myself in trouble again, and at that point, I was downtown. Downtown in Taegu, area 4 down south in Korea, and I got into a fight with some guys, a group of guys, and I ended up was at the time stationed in a police company, an MP company, and and guess who come pick me up? The MPs, my company command, my sergeant major, and all those good things. Long story short, he ended up. It was a really bad fight, and I ended up going to see this guy, Command Sergeant Major Mike Sampson. Sergeant Major Sampson, he kind of pretty much set me down, and actually he was sitting down, I was standing up at the end of his table, and he asked me, he was like, what you think I'm going to do to you? I said, you're going to send me home. Why should I keep you in my Army? And I said, well, Sergeant Major, this is where I came from. If I go back, this is where I'm probably going to end up at. And he said, you know what I'm going to do to you? I said, yes, Sergeant Major, you're gonna send me home. He said, no, you see that door you just walked in? I said, yes. He said, that's going to be your office. You're going to come work for me after you finish doing your extra duty, all those things like that. Within 30 days later, after me, doing my extra duty and doing my punishment for the military, I immediately went up and seemed like I got a promotion and became the battalion command sergeant major of the whole MP corps down there. I became his driver, and I drove with him. I was, with him. In order for you to go to his office, you had to walk through my office. So I heard a lot of things that was going on, and this within a year of being in the military. And I'll never forget, and it's kind of like when my life kind of changed for the best. He called me in his office one day because we had an NCO that served 20 years in the military, and he was getting ready to retire, but he didn't have enough money saved up to move his family and do all those other things like that. And the military was going to move him, but he had to do other commitments. He was on a company tour, so he had to move his family and all this other crazy stuff. And he felt comfortable asking his sergeant major to help him out, because the sergeant major was actually his squad leader when the sergeant major was a young E6. And so sergeant major kind of like mentored him, kind of helped him up. But this guy ended up walking out my office, and sergeant major, but they get in here. So I get in there. Yes, sergeant major. He said, "Did you hear that?" I said, "Yes, sergeant major. What did you hear?" I said, "He just asked for money so you can help move his family and all that." He said, "Let me tell you something, son. I'm about to ever catch you in the military 20 years and you don't got no money saved up to be able to do that." He said, "You should not work for 20 years and don't have that type of money." And he said, "Get over here, let me show you something." So he logged into, I never forget a day of my life, he logged into his our first command account. And when he logged in, and he showed me his account, and it was an IRA account. He had about 100-some thousand, but when you first ever see 100-some thousand, it really looked like $1 million. I tell people that all the time, because you got the comma, you got the zeros, but those decimals, when you first look, like, whoa, that's like $1 million. So that right there kind of motivated me, and I said, I want that. What you teach me, what you show me, and he said, yeah. And he's carved some time out for me, and he ended up helping me start my first retirement account, which was a TSP. And then what happened was I started picking up magazines, books, anything that talk about money, because what was happening was when I opened up my first retirement account, I literally looked, and I'll never forget, it was like $240. In the Army, we got this thing called I Love Me book, where we put all our awards, all our certificates. Yep. That's what we called it in the Army. Where my I Love Me book, the first thing I got when you open my book up is my TSP, my first statement, back in 2000. It had to be about 2003 is when I first started. Investing. And long story short, man, I put that $230 in there, and I had it going in there every month. In 30 days, I looked in an account, and I was like, oh man, I remember $230. It's like $240. Like I made $10, and I was just like, hold on for a minute, let me check it tomorrow. And I checked it tomorrow, I made another $2, $3, and I was like, oh wow. I was just amazed that I can go to sleep and wake up and
Yeah,
I didn't know anything. Yeah, I didn't do anything. I didn't know anything about interest or none of that. So I started to continue to learn and continue to self-educate myself and continue to pick up magazines, and then I'm putting money in there, and then I have $1,000 and I wake up and I got $12. So what happened was I ended up becoming infatuated how money make money. So what then was, even to this day, where now I have millions of dollars, invested in stock market, retirement account. But when you go from $1,000 to $10,000, and then you wake up, you might have made $100 that day or lost $100.
Yeah.
But when you go to $50,000, you may make $500, $600 that day. You get 100,000, 1% on 100,000, you may make 1,000, you may lose 1,000. But when you get $1 million, 1% on $1 million, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You lose it, making 10,000, lose it 10,000. But this is the point that I'm trying to make with that. No matter how much money I'm making, I'm still infatuated how money make money. I'm still keyed in on that you can go to sleep and wake up and the money still making money. And I never lost that feeling, where, because it's the same feeling when I was making $2 a day. I get the same feeling when I'm making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a day. Every book that I was reading was talking about, that I was reading at the time was talking about making money, talking about investing. Books I was reading was, and one thing what happened is, when I was reading these books, everything talked about real estate. So what I did was then I started buying real estate. You know, a year later after investing, I bought my first property. You know, for $13,000.
What 3 books would you recommend to somebody who's starting out to help them get on that path to financial freedom and creating that financial legacy?
Yep, absolutely. The Millionaire Next Door.
Great book.
10X Rule, Grant Cardone.
Okay.
And probably everybody, if you haven't read it, you got to read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah. Your wife, amazing woman, Pam, and just truly love Pam.
Yep.
And you're both military. She's Chief Warrant Officer too, right?
Yep, Chief Warrant Officer.
And tell me about, you told me this story one other time, but how long y'all been married?
13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, I work with so many dual military, and they lived in base housing forever, or they just they've lived way beyond their means in the sense that they make a lot of money. But they spend a lot of money. But tell me, how did you and Pam manage your finances? Because you're, you know, 2003 is when you were already doing it.
Right.
And you know, obviously you've been married for 13 years. So what did you do together, obviously, with your pay, and how did you manage that in dual military?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that's probably what separated us to hit our goals much faster. So obviously when I met my wife, I was already kind of ahead of the curve, buying real estate, investing. I just did it young. I was only 21, 22 when I started. 21 years old when I started. Or was it 20 years old when I started. But by the time I met Pam, we sat down talking about finances. I said, you know, I think that we should definitely have our account together, but let's live off one paycheck. And what we did was I asked her some things that she had to give up. Like, she was real big in heels and pocketbooks. And I said, well, I don't know we're going to be able to do heels and pocketbooks if we're going to be living off one check and raising our kids and things like that. And what happened was she committed to it. It was a hard commitment. I think, man, and we changed our pay. We was getting paid on the 1st of the month, 1st and 15th. So we changed all our bills to come out on the 1st. We'll be broke by the 17th, right? Because what we was doing was we was literally investing a whole entire paycheck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we've been doing that since 13 years. Like literally taking a whole military paycheck, allotting the money. We allotting the money, going into different investments, different stocks, maxing her TSP out, maxing my IRA out. I'm buying all the stocks when they're down. We taking money, going to real estate, just investing the whole entire paycheck. And as we continue to get pay raises over the years, because we was enlisted, every time we got pay raise, the money, it was more money to invest. Yeah. So even to this day, we still doing that.
Wait a second. Now she gave up heels and pocketbook. What'd you give up?
I frankly gave up the alcohol a little bit, and I was, I just go get me. I was a big Hennessy drinker. And I started getting. I had to say, look, I'm gonna just get one bottle, the big bottle on payday. So I had to give.
It's gonna last the month.
I didn't last that, and cars. I didn't. I started buying used cars. I did a mistake. I spent $100,000 on a car because I was getting money. I was getting money. I was 24 years old. I bought a $100,000 car, and did it easy.
What kind of car was that?
745 Li, brand new out the showroom floor. And it was you got this guy E45 doing that, but I was selling clothes. I was making money. I was I wasn't a typical soldier even back then.
Yeah.
But what I did though, this is what I told Pam to this day, and I hold it to it. I said, if you commit to this, I promise you, I will not ask you. You will not need to work when you retire. You will always be able to do what you want. Now, we're getting ready to retirement. She's not going to get on GS job, country job. She's going to be home. You know, she's been doing the Airbnb. That's what she liked doing.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, a couple hours a day, if that, you know, and she having fun doing that. So, and it's good, you know, for her to see that. And I think over the years of her seeing that account grow and grow and grow, you know, she's used to it, but you know, we did this journey together. You know?
Yeah.
And it's been absolutely amazing. I tell all military, dual military, you know, if you do a military, sit down and try to live off one paycheck. I know it's going to be hard, I know it's going to be tough, but you can do it. Even if you start off at least 20%, 50% of your pay, and try to work your way all the way to 100%. If you can do that dual military, you'll be super successful.
I think you got to do it where it hurts you a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because you'll realize after you've been doing it, you've been setting aside that money,
right,
that you can do it. You know, you may have to give something up, but
right,
you can absolutely do it.
Right.
Because you're still making pretty good money.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But you got to have that discipline.
You got
to feel a little pain. I think you got to feel a little pain.
Yeah, like I said, we was running out of money. You know, first month we probably ran out of money about the 17th. Next month was 18th. It took us a whole year.
Yeah.
To get it and down, you know,
yeah,
to get it down. And it's cool, like, when I say run out of money, it's like, at the end of the day, you know, yeah, I can't touch all the money with the TSP and the IRA, but I can still pinch off the stocks, you know what I mean? I got to allocate it, you know what I'm saying? So hey, we have money to get us there, but I set up everything so that everything is on automatic. I don't want to see it. I've been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah.
No,
that's
everything
awesome.
on automatic.
So tell me, what does Band of Brothers? What does Band of Brothers do, and what are you invested in? And you know, can you join Band of Brothers?
So as far as our investments, we invest in the Anytime Fitness franchise. Like again, we own, you know, we developed ground up North Carolina, throughout there, you know, Dallas, Texas, Arkansas, Fort Smith, Arkansas, here in Hawaii, and then we also invest in multifamily. I'm currently right now, I'm at 925 units portfolio, and I'm about to add 55 more units to that coming next week or two. So we're doing that. We getting ready to sign the master franchise agreement for Image Studio. I really haven't told nobody that, so that's new. But you know, it's a really good model that we're looking into doing. It is pretty much we take large space and we carve it out and deck them out, make them real high-end, luxury looking suites. And those suites, we'll rent those out to salons, so stylists, estheticians, and they'll get their own suite, pretty much be their own boss. So we try to promote, you know, start working for the man. Yep. You know, say you can be your own boss. You know, you're 1099. I want to cover the rent, the light bill, the cam, the electric, the water, and you can be your own. You know, you'll create your LLC and all those things like that. So we got that. We've been investing a lot of Airbnbs. Been investing in that, and we also a lot of people don't know, but we have a lot of private equity that I do with some deals where we're in senior living hotels that we got. We just sold a student housing with Morehouse School in Medicine. You know, we had to invest in a deal like that. You know, make great money, and we just take that money and just continue to invest it. I believe the blueprint is that you have to have the business income so that you can try to get as much passive income. And once you get to a point, you know, what you want to do is you want whatever your active income. You're a W-2 employee. If you're making $100,000, you should be trying to focus to make $100,000 in passive. That's how you can leave and quit your day job. Me, obviously, I got 44 streams of income. I'm trying to hit 100 streams of income. Just as my first goal. And we doing that through investing in businesses, investing in taking that money and just making. Because we don't need the money. We still live below our means.
Yeah.
You know, my guys, you know, I'm just now starting to pay payroll, you know, for our team. Everybody got strong sweat equity, and they seen that equity just make so much money. And every time I invest in a apartment or a private equity deal, I have another whole separate entity that says Bands of Brothers Alternative Investments, that we just focus that entity on doing things. So that Broderick, my guys Julian, Easter, Jerome, those guys is being taken care of because I'm still working. I'm always working. Always making them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I see that. Every time we're together doing something, you're always somebody's always. The phone is never not buzzing. So, so tell me, I've invested with you in a couple, Tri-City Equity Group. Tell me a little bit. How did you get started in that? Because you go on to Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, and people are talking about this left and right, about investing in multi-units, through LLC. You working with Duke Ong and Vince Gettings and a couple other in that group. How did that all come about? And for somebody who's looking, maybe they have $25,000 or $50,000 they want to invest. Maybe it's in their checking account, or maybe it's in their SEP IRA. How do they? What's the easiest way for them to start investing in multi-units like you have through Tri-City?
So I guess I asked your first question first. So I got started. I always knew, I've been doing real estate for so long. My goal was to retire, which is retiring this year. I wanted to buy an apartment complex. So what I did was a couple of years ago, I said, let me go ahead and start it to invest in an apartment complex. But what happened was I was an LP, limited partner, through other folks' deals, because I had got a seat at the table on somebody else's deal. And I was just sitting back learning, and I started to become more self-educated about LP roles and all that. And I said, man, I want to be a general partner one day. I want to own my own apartment. And I was going to do it and buy with the money that I had saved up or invested throughout the years of my career. And I created the Banzer Brothers Real Estate Group. And it was me, good friend Bob Folson, who also is my real estate guy for the Anytime Fitness franchise. And me and Bob, he helps out, and we started source our own deals. And you can do deals so many ways. But I met Duke Ong years ago at a meetup group, and I never forget. He was like, we was all in this group. Everybody was like, me and him, we had the same energy. He's all pumped. He say, man, we just should start our own real estate group. He was already saying that. And I'm over here like, man, he's talking about start a real estate group, and I'm over here talking about business. So me and him kind of led, it was it was a really good meetup, but a lot of people was kind of in tune with what we were saying. But long story short, man, fast forward, Duke and Vince ended up starting their real estate group, and I did my own thing. They started on smaller deals. I was looking at something a little bigger, but the operations piece of it, I didn't know that piece. So I started to self-educate myself on that. And then, I still got this whole company over here that I'm running, but Jerome, he's my right hand. I said, let me focus and get this going. So I started to focus, getting the real estate going. And I ended up talking to Vince and Duke one day. And, I said, hey, if you can help me with my first property, kind of be like, mentor, I give you some equity and whatever the case may be. And that was all for it. And come to find out, though, we was all talking, and then it was like, man, maybe you should come over here. And I was like, man, I was going to think about the same thing. So I ended up stopping my Banzer Brothers, joined them, and it was like a great match, because what I was able to bring to the table was able to bring them 5 years into the future. And me coming on their team, it was just perfect. And for me, I became 5 years in the future. Vince Gettings left, I think he had like 15, 16, 17, something crazy. A lot of years in the military. He left it just go focus on multifamily. And that's can kind of show you how dedicated he is. And me and him, we work together. I help him with the projects. I fly out, I find the deals. Me and Bob, we normally find the deals and do all those things like that. I do broker relations, things like that, and it's a great team. Everybody got their lane, and we just be roaring. But to answer your second part, kind of like, how you get started, you want to own multifamily. Multifamily ain't something, everybody want to own it, but you got to be invited to the table. Now you got to know someone that's doing it to get in there. I tell people all the time, when you driving up and down where you live in, I-95, or you're in Florida, Miami, Dallas, wherever you're at right now, when you're doing that, a lot of people like, oh man, whoever owned that building right here, I know they killing it. Whoever owned that building, I know 99% is not just one owner. It's always a group of investors together that pull money together to take down projects. And that's what you want. You want to find someone doing it. Our group, we do it. I love helping people. You know, one of the things too that I like, that when I came on the group, I brought different types of investors. You know, people that's from Enfield, North Carolina, the poorest city in the whole state of North Carolina. I got people that I went to high school with on deals that would have never ever dreamed about owning apartments. And I raised a lot of money, you know, on the #1 raiser on our team. And it's because of the people that I done impact and influence over the years. You know, even, you know, we just got, it's great. And so as people want to kind of get in, we do minimums of $25,000 to $50,000. There's so many ways you can get the money. A lot of people thinking, ah, man, the money's sitting in the savings, or if you don't got money in savings, maybe it's in your TSP. And we show you how to get to that money, and it's going to make you more money. And it's just a blessing to kind of get going like that.
So I know you talk about Enfield. You know, one of the things that, and you don't brag about this, we talked about in passing a couple of times, but you do so much for your hometown. Yeah. Because givers gain, and somebody needs a mentor like that Command Sergeant Major was a mentor to you. Right. What are some of the things that you've done to give back to your community? Not only in Enfield, but even here. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, man, that's probably like, I don't talk about it because I just love doing it, man. Man, so for Enfield, man, every year, man, I have, me and my wife, we take a percentage of what we make and we invest into our own nonprofit. And as God continues to bless me and continue to bless my business, there's more money going in there. So for years, every year for high school, kind of tell you how I started. I started out in the elementary school when I first making not as much money, and we was doing backpacks, just doing charitable donations every year. And then the next year I was able to do the whole elementary school. And then the next year I was able to do the elementary school and the middle school. And then the next year, God blessed me so I could do the whole do something from
K to 12
to 12th grade. Yeah. So we were doing that, and then I started opening up to the county, and so what I do is we do scholarships for no high schoolers. We do parties. We award perfect attendance. We award if they pass their EOG to integrate, they score 3, 4, or 5. We load them up on buses, take them out of Enfield, send them out to Raleigh, North Carolina, where I got where we pay for like the Galaxy Fun Park, for the kids out there. I was this year, it was like, what are we gonna do for the seniors? Yeah, we still gonna do the scholarships, but what else can I do? I feel like I should do more. And it was like, I talked to the counselor. He said, man, you know what thing made me sad? I said, what's that? He said, these kids said they never had a senior trip. I said, you know what, you right. I never had a senior trip. Let's do a senior trip. So we, this year we sent all the seniors to the Charlotte Hornets game, North Carolina, and, paid for the hotel, paid for the bus, and we had them stop at the Winston-Salem University, the Tour College. We just give back. We just always give back to our hometown. Thanksgiving. We do things for our hometown. Even out here, we started out, for Christmas. Every Christmas we did 100 meals, and then next year I did 300 meals. Then I did 500 meals. Then I did 800. And last year with you and your scouts, we did over 2,000 meals. Yep. And I just had a meeting with my team before coming here, and they said, we got to start working on this. Is coming up already. Yeah. How many you want to do? So I'll just do 3,000. We'll do 3,000. Just put 3,000 out. 3,000 out. We're gonna do 3,000 meals this year. Yeah. So as we continue to get blessed, we'll continue to give back. It's good because not only we giving back, we are able to help. Hawaii got one of the man, it's just bad, man, as far as the homeless population. Yeah. And for island or a state to get so much money coming in. The state, local government, they tax every single thing. So I just feel like that there should be more, and we just try to help out where we can. But that's what we like doing. We look into starting to build some homes with Auntie Blanchy. I don't think he went out.
Yeah,
there.
No, actually over in Waipahu, right? Yeah.
So we're looking to doing some things like that with her out that way, and just continue, to get back. No matter where we at, where we here in Hawaii, but we'll never forget my hometown.
Yeah. So you have a conference coming up. This is the first I understand the first that I've seen, called the Hawaii Millionaire Mindset Conference.
Yes.
And this is going to be over at the Four Seasons.
Yep.
And can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So man, it's one of the things that I always wanted to do. I've always been teaching people about investing, and I probably help thousands of people one-on-one, like with their portfolio. Now I'm just to a point right now where I just can't talk to everybody because I'm so busy, and I don't want to stop helping. And what this conference is we're gonna really focus on showing people how to create generational wealth. Maybe you may have a business, may need to figure out, how do I go to the next level?
Yeah.
How do I scale? So we're going to be focused on helping people with business. We're going to give them all the tools, everything that I got, everything that I learned is gloves off. I'm giving everything out. I'm giving everybody my business plan. We're going to have a QR code. They're going to get access to my business plan, my performer, my contacts, my brokers, my whoever. They're going to get everything, and that's going to be the business is going to be broken out 2 days. Day one, it's all about real estate, where you might be wanting to try to figure out how to get into owning multifamily, or you may have a VA loan, and we're going to teach you how do you leverage that VA loan. Maybe you need to get into duplexes and kind of help build you out. So we're just going to be really focused on real estate, hardcore real estate day one, hardcore real estate, business on day two. Because like I said, the blueprint is you create that active income, and you take that active income and invest it all in passive investments. And the more active income you get, the bigger and more better of the passive the check's going to be. Yeah. Active income money is always more than passive. The cash flow is going to be always more on the active side than on a multifamily passive side. But what happened is, as you make those bigger checks, the return's gonna be big, and you ain't doing that for it. You just you got guys like me and my team out here. We running. We ain't slowing down. We just we just getting our stride. We about to retire. We about to really take off to the next level. So but yeah, that in that conference, that's what we're gonna be focused on. And we got some great speakers. Most of these people that I personally know, that I done met, and they're met in conferences, they doing they bring us some big hitters, guys. They got 7,000 units. His goal is 10,000 units by the end of the year. And he's going to hit there. That's insane. It's crazy. He's really rolling. He's going to be there. We got guys that's killing government contracting. That's going to give you the game on that. And when we always talk about making money, but nobody really talk about how do you protect the money, how what you should do on your taxes. That's why this conference here, we're going to give all that. We're going to give you the blueprint. This is how you make it. This is how you protect it. This is how you do your taxes, and this is how you should do it. Yeah.
Is it sold out yet?
Well, our VIP tickets are sold out. However, though, we still have tickets for our general admission, and it's $297.
Man, that's a small price to pay.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah, so this is a hands down nonprofit. It costs a lot. We talking about 4 seasons.
So you're saying 4 seasons? That's not cheap. They're not going to give you that.
Oh man, yeah. So we talking about 4 seasons. By the time you start adding the cost, and we feeding, doing lunch too, and 4 seasons providing all that. So by the time you add all that stuff up, man, it comes up. At the end of the day, our goal is to break even. We currently right now, we're probably about 70% sold out right now.
Okay, so if you want to attend the Hawaii Millionaire Mindset Conference, right, in below the video is the information, so you can go ahead and sign up. I will be there. Absolutely, I will be there. I just think there's so much value in what you're providing $297 is, man, that's, you go shake out the cushions in your couch,
right.
you know, get that change and go, because I think,
game changer.
Yeah, and you know, just working with you and knowing you over the past 4 years, you've educated me immensely. Looking forward to continuing to be a part of your team. I think, you know, and help you grow.
We partners.
Yeah, you know, and help you grow and help us to continue to bring people along with us.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, definitely. We want more people. You know, we got one of the things too. We have the internship where we partner with the Skills Bridge program through the military, career skills program or Skill Bridge. But we have so many interns coming in. My guys, every Monday we here at Schofield, and we are pitching. And every time we pitch, we get the most people coming through our program. So we got people that are interning in our Airbnb, our multifamily, in our business, and entrepreneurship. So we got 4 or 5 different paths of people they can choose. Yeah. And it's been great, you know, to really help, you know, give back to the soldiers and show them like, hey, and when I go out there and brief, I'm briefing totally different than everybody else that they hearing. I'm talking about, you know, no ceiling, working for yourself, entrepreneurship, or even, you know, some people want to be a personal trainer. So we got people coming in that want to be trainers too as well. So
that Skill Bridge program is great. Yep. I mean, the opportunity that you have basically for 3 to 6 months to go work in a field that you may not know if you want to go, to test it out, to get educated, to see if that's really what you want to do. We didn't have that when I retired.
Right, yeah.
It was just, all right, here's your DD-214, you know, off with you.
Yep.
I think that's a great program, and you really need to look into it. But I'll tell you what, you know, that 3 months that you have in that program, man, you got to want it. You got to work hard. Because I've seen some people go into Skill Bridge, and they don't. They don't apply themselves. They basically use that time to screw off.
Right.
And they don't get anything out of it, and they don't, you know, they've wasted that 3 months. Now, I didn't have Skill Bridge, but I was able to work, you know, while I was basically my terminal leave, that 3-month period, that was my Skill Bridge because I was still getting paid. Man, I was working I was the first person in the office every day, every single day, and I didn't make a lot of money.
Right.
But all that work I did over that first 3 months built me up so that when that full paycheck went away, I was rolling because I had a head start. It's what Skill Bridge does. It's starting the race, the after service race, from a full-on sprint rather than from all stop. And that program, if you use it correctly, is gold.
Right.
And you're doing this at Schofield.
Yes.
Okay, so if people want to come and see you, how do they do that?
They just go sign up for the Career Skills program briefing, and they do the briefing every Monday at 9 o'clock at the Soldier Support Center. Okay,
oh, that's awesome. They got to do that in the other services too.
Yeah.
You need to get down to Family Service Center at Navy, you know, whatever, Joint Base Pearl Harbor, Hickam, do that too.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we're doing. Helen, who she does all my projects for me, but she's working it right now, waiting for the paperwork to get approved.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so right now we just here in Schofield, and we go down to Fort Shafter too as well for the seniors, the 05 and above.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you coming down, and we'll see you on the course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.